Did you know that the Royal Guard has been protecting British monarchs for over 360 years? These stoic sentinels, famous for their red coats and bearskin hats, are not just tourist attractions, they're highly trained soldiers with a serious job. In 2022 alone, over 30 incidents of public interference with the Guards were reported. The Royal Guard's history dates back to 1656 when King Charles II formed the regiment. Today, they're not just ceremonial. They're active duty soldiers tasked with protecting royal residences and the monarch. Messing with these guards isn't just unwise, it's illegal and potentially dangerous. From embarrassing mishaps to serious legal consequences, here are 15 individuals who learned this lesson the hard way. On a busy summer day outside Buckingham Palace, a tourist from America couldn't resist the temptation of a perfect selfie with a royal guard. Despite signs warning visitors to keep their distance, she inched closer and closer, trying to get the perfect shot with the unnamed guard. After several attempts, just as she leaned in for one last photo, the guard suddenly turned and shouted, "Make way!" The tourist jumped and shot, her phone slipping from her hands and smashing on the pavement. Red-faced and phoneless, she learned a costly lesson about respecting the guard's space. It was a wild night near St. James's Palace. A group of drunk guys celebrating a bachelor party thought it would be funny to mess with the royal guards. They started making fun of the guards, copying their walks, and shouting silly things. At first, the guards ignored them, but when the group got too close and too loud, the guards had enough. They called the police without saying a word. Before the party knew it, police cars arrived with flashing lights. The whole group, including the groom-to-be, ended up spending the night in jail instead of partying. Talk about a bachelor party gone wrong. A young YouTuber thought he had the perfect idea for a viral video at Windsor Castle. His plan? Steal a guard's famous furry hat. With his friend filming, he snuck up behind a guard, ready to grab the hat. But he was in for a big surprise. The guard, who had years of training, quickly turned around. In one smooth move, he grabbed the prankster's arm and took him down. The whole thing was caught on camera, but not like the YouTuber wanted. Instead of looking cool, he looked silly, and the video went viral showing how not to act at Windsor Castle. At the Horse Guards parade, a well-meaning but misguided animal rights activist decided to take action. She believed the horses used by the Royal Guards were mistreated and needed to be freed. During a quiet moment, she snuck up to one of the horses and tried to undo its straps. The guard, who was standing nearby, quickly noticed and stopped her. Other guards rushed over to help. The activist was arrested on the spot. She ended up facing serious charges, including attempted theft of the horse and interfering with the guard's official duties. Her plan to help animals backfired badly, leaving her with a criminal record instead. During the colorful trooping the color ceremony, a man thought he could outsmart the security. He waited for a moment when the guards seemed distracted, then quickly jumped over the fence into the restricted area. But he was wrong about the guards not paying attention. Within seconds, several guards spotted him and sprang into action. They tackled him to the ground before he could get far. The man was quickly handcuffed and taken away. Later, he found out how serious his mistake was. He faced big legal troubles, including possible jail time, for breaching such an important security area. On the day of a big royal wedding, crowds lined the streets to see the new entrance. One super excited fan couldn't contain herself. When the royal carriage came near, she suddenly pushed past the crowd barriers, trying to get closer. She ran towards the carriage, waving and shouting congratulations. But before she could get close, two guards seemed to appear out of nowhere. They quickly grabbed her and pulled her away from the procession. The fan was taken to a nearby police station. She spent the rest of the day being questioned and missed the entire wedding celebration she was so eager to see. During the popular changing of the guard ceremony, a street mime thought he'd entertain the crowd by making fun of the guards. He copied their stiff walks and serious faces, making people laugh. At first, the guards ignored him. But when the mime started getting in their way and making rude gestures, they'd had enough. Police officers quickly stepped in and arrested the mime for being a public nuisance. The mime's fun day out turned into a big problem. He not only got in trouble with the law, but also lost his license to perform on the streets. At the Tower of London, a group of teenagers was joking around. One boy, trying to look cool, dared his friends to touch a guard's weapon. Thinking it was just a harmless prank, he sneaked up and reached for the gun. The guard immediately shouted a warning, scaring the teen badly. Other guards quickly surrounded the group. The boy got a very stern talking to, and the guards called his parents. To make matters worse, he and his friends were told they couldn't visit any royal places again. It was a tough lesson about respecting rules and other people's jobs. One early morning in St. James's Park, a jogger was running with his headphones on, not paying attention to his surroundings. He was so focused on his music that he didn't see a royal guard on patrol. Suddenly, bam, the jogger crashed right into the guard. Both were surprised, but the guard quickly took control of the situation. He detained the jogger and called for backup. The jogger had to spend the next hour answering lots of questions. By the time he was let go, he had missed an important work meeting. It was an embarrassing and costly morning. At the entrance of Kensington Palace, a sneaky photographer thought he could get some secret royal photos. He waited for the guards to look away, then tried to slip past them. But the guards were smarter than he thought. They caught him right away. They took his camera and all his photos. The guards also found out he was a professional photographer with special press passes. The photographer got in big trouble. The palace people took away his press passes, so he couldn't work at royal events anymore. They also said they might take him to court. His attempt to get special photos ended up costing him his job. In Windsor Great Park, a man with a metal detector thought he might find some buried treasure. He snuck into a part of the park that was off limits and started digging holes. A guard on patrol spotted him and quickly stopped him. The treasure hunter tried to explain, but the guard didn't bite it. The police were called, and they took away his metal detector. Later, the man had to pay a big fine for damaging the park. He also had to do community service, which meant cleaning up the park for free. His treasure hunt turned into a costly mistake. These stories show that messing with royal guards is no joke. These guards aren't just there for show. They have a serious job protecting the royal family in important places. They're trained soldiers who take their duty very seriously. Remember, when you're near royal guards or royal properties, keep a respectful distance. Don't touch the guards or their equipment. Follow all posted rules and signs. Enjoy watching them, but don't interfere. One guard once said, "We're not statues. We're here to do a job, and we take it very seriously." This sums up why it's crucial to respect these guards and their work. Next time you see a royal guard, take a moment to appreciate their dedication and the history they represent. It's a special part of British culture that's meant to be admired from a respectful distance. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories and facts about royal traditions around the world. Share.